Hello, fellow DovEggs fans. Hello, fellow DovEggs fans. I got a new ring, and so that means it's time for an unboxing and honest review. Let's get right into it. This 4-stone ring is already on DovEggs' website. It's been there at least a year, and I've loved it since I first saw it added. I'm very thankful to the first person who brought this style to DovEggs, and I decided to make a few customizations or modifications to my ring just to make it a little more personal for me, and I'll go into that later in the video. Let's get into the unboxing. This box contained the standard items of the polishing cloth, the ring sizer, so you can check your ring size as shown here, and also the warranty card. And remember, that card that comes with it is not your actual warranty. It just represents that your jewelry has a warranty on it. My order also came with the standard DovEggs box, which was surrounded with the infamous tape that's hard to get off, so I used some scissors. It has a nice little shiny button in there, and inside is the ring with a little plastic baggie to keep it safe. The stones are very sparkly and beautiful. The gold is substantial. My honest review of this ring is that it's phenomenally gorgeous. I'm very happy with it. Now let's talk about some of the minor modifications that I paid to add to this ring. I asked them to make the band a little thinner and taper from thinner to thicker at the top. So the band width is 1.8 millimeters, and that was just a comfort thing for me. I also added rope millgrain, which is like a detail around the band, and that represents my family's love of the beach and of water. I also paid to upgrade the 2 center stones to 1 millimeter larger. So they are 6 millimeters in the center, and the 2 smaller ones are the standard 5 millimeters. I also selected Astro cut stones for the center stones and Nova cut stones for the outer stones. The reason for the variance in stone cut and size for these 4 stones was because we wanted it to signify our family. So the 2 larger stones represent my husband and I, and the 2 smaller stones represent our 2 daughters. And he helped me pick out which cut he wanted to represent for who. So the 2 Astro cuts represent, again, my husband and I, and the 2 Nova cuts are our 2 princesses. I really love the small details that this ring has, such as the hearts between the stones, the little prongs look like crowns, and that was in the original style. That wasn't something that I added. Here it is in direct sunlight. This is where you can really see the variance in the cut of the stones, in my opinion. Something to consider is the smallest carat or the smallest millimeter size that DovEggs can make in the Nova cut and or the Astro cut at the time that this video is made is 5 millimeters. And so that is the same size you're seeing here in this video for those smaller stones. Here it is in indoor lighting, kind of with the poor camera quality, no lighting really on it, the lights are off, and it's still pretty sparkly. And in comparison, here's in that same room with the room lights off, but with flash, and you can really see just how sparkly those stones really can be once you change the lighting. And one final modification that I asked them to do was to just make sure that those prongs were as thin as possible, because I do have 2 small daughters at this time, and I might still be changing our youngest diaper and don't want it to scratch. One thing to consider is if you decide to go with the modifications that I went with, and you put those in the comments when you're ordering, you might want to ask them to make that rope millgrain a little more pronounced if that's something you're interested in. I think they made mine a little subtle, more subtle than I would have gone with, but that's okay because now it'll pair with more bands that I have, such as smooth bands that don't have millgrain. I'm showing it here with several DovEggs bands. It pairs pretty easily with almost anything, which is probably the best thing about this ring. I think that this ring is exactly what I was hoping for. It sits low enough that I'm not going to be scratching it on any kids or bumping it on anything. It's a great ring, has a ton of bling. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend this style. One of the best things about choosing DovEggs to make special pieces of jewelry like this one is for me is that they can make those modifications and customizations for you to put a personal spin on pretty much any piece of jewelry that you decide to order with them. You can choose the engraving, you can choose, if you want to add some little special detail here or there. They'll send you videos of your stones, such as shown here, to make sure that they look good to you before they set them. They're just all around a great company to work with if you're considering a custom jewelry piece. That's it for now, but remember, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments. And make sure to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. My handle on there is DovEggs Fan. And until next time, stay sparkly.